can be if we use it properly. Don't get me wrong, I know we want to hammer people with the backhand or make the big power punches on the backside. But what I like to do is if he throws a jab, I like to move this one way or the other if I can, or head movement. If he throws a jab, head movement, head movement, head movement, and so forth this way, I can go right over. So, you get bop, spot right on the chin every time, right? Spot. We want to be in jeopardy when we're training. So if for some reason he goes throw it and I miss, he should be saying, hey, look, you missed. Now again, he goes throw it and I move back. Footwork, that's not bad. Head movement, that's not bad, right? All of this is still legit, but if I can get this hand on here, then I can throw this one, right? So I want him to throw this jab every single time, and I want to try to make a little head movement, a little hand movement, right? One way or the other, right? And just kind of work a little bit, keep an eye on this. Now each time, he's not trying to trick me. He's also not going to throw this like a homing missile. So if I make this move 2 times and the next time he starts angling his punch towards me, that's not really legit. He should be punching where my head is, not going to try to get me. Does that make sense? Work the jab a couple of times, get with somebody close in size if you can, and have a good time playing with the jab. Go. If Lyndon is steadily putting his hand on my jab when I'm making the attack, it tells me something, right? So let's say he backhand blocks each time. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get it right on the chin, right on the chin. Okay, we kind of start thinking, interesting. His head's going to the left, his hand's going here, right? That's now the target. I build. I do this, that, right? So he parry blocks, I hit him here. Now I could fake and still hit him, that's also fine. We get used to 1, 2, right? 1, 2. By the way, he'll start probably ducking. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and so forth. We kind of start working this thing the best way we can. But don't try to trick them, you're training them. Guess when it's time to trick them? Well, when you put the gloves on, you can trick them all you want then, but now I'm going to give it right to him each time, and then I'm going to start going for the hook, okay? Boom. Watching him, all right? Watching him, and he may decide that he wants to duck down. Now, don't nail your partner. Notice that I'm kind of feeding it to him, and I'm careful not to nail him. In truth, I would be here, and I'd be nailing him with it, right? But I give him a chance, right? I let him work. Does that make sense? Yes, sir. Try not to clown anybody, have some fun. Your combos in terms of what they're giving you. They're going to give you some body language, right? Imagine if I was going to fight Lyndon and I had to say what I was going to do. Wouldn't that be an advantage? Jab, hook, jab, hook. Wouldn't that be neat? If I had to say that, he'd be like, all I got to do is listen to him, right? I'm not going to say it, but you can see it in the body language, right? So watch, jab, now watch. See the hand coming back, hook. You see how he's going to kind of start reading me. All right, so now let's say that he decides to, instead, I throw jab, right? And then he starts ducking under, okay? So jab, I'm going to throw this hook, and he starts ducking under, okay? Jab, he's ducking under. All right, I think maybe I can angle a bit and hit them with the cross. Jab, here, there. See, I stepped out, jab, here, there. Now you guys might think, Curtis, that looks awful slow. How are you going to get there? I've seen his body movement. I kind of know what he's doing. I throw that. Let's see if he'll do it again. That. It's consistent. Maybe he's also throwing some other kicks and punches in between that I'm dealing with. But I go back to this. When I'm back on the offense, I go 1, 2, 3. You see how that foot stepped into position? Now I'm hitting him on the angle that's best for me. If I don't make the footwork, this is what it looks like. Jab. You see how uncomfortable that is? Watch. See how just making a small angle with the back foot? 1, 2, 3. It's slow motion. But I predicted it. 1, 2, 3. I'm moving this foot on the hook, almost like a check hook, right? 1, 2, 3. I'm anticipating, planning, preparing. Does that make sense? All right, play with your friend a little bit. Watch what they do and see what it gives you. If it gives you something different, raise your hand, let me know. Go. I definitely introduce the right. You definitely want to introduce the right. Because ultimately, we're going to want to throw that power play. So again, when I do this, that, which is reasonable, something that is manageable, or whether I go this, and then his hand's pushed across, and now I'm looking for this one, right? Now I'm going to tell you, if I want the head, where do I want his hands, high or low? Low. So instead of this, or maybe I do throw this, then I go pop, and I nail him in the body a couple times. He didn't really like that. Pop, right? So he starts dropping the hands for me, and then I nail him with the right. Does that make sense? We do a little high-low action, right? So the first one, let's go here, right? Here. There's a small window. Maybe he might block that, all right? So then maybe I'm going to go 1, 2, and with the hands dropped, 3, right? Now, there's a difference between the cross and the overhand right, all right? The cross comes from here. It's fairly straight from the point of my chin to the point of his chin. If I've done this, and then he blocks low when I hit to the body, this is going to be over my head this way. Does that make sense? So I'm going to be low here for this shot, and then I'm going to hit him up here with the overhand right. Does it make sense? Now, anybody that watches this on YouTube is going to say, well, what about this? I'm definitely open for other counter strikes. Does that make sense to everybody? So if Lyndon decides to parry block with his backhand and hit me on the angle with his jab, I block here, he angles and hits there, bop. Then yet I'll demonstrate. So he does that, right? I go here and here. See how I angle out and I hit? There's a counter strike right there immediately. If he throws the jab cross and I do this, then I've got the counter punch as well. So if he goes high-low with the jab, and he goes for the right, I get hit. But he goes high-low with the jab, and I see that one coming, now I got a counter. But there's a ton of things that we can do. I'm trying to get you guys used to seeing that there's different ways on different angles to throw these punches, depending on where our feet are, what our relationship is to the body, and the right angle. I'm also trying to teach you not to make punches like this. All right, this needs to be in front of the body. If I want to punch there, I change the angle of the body so I can get there. Does that make sense? Give it a try. Work the technique I just showed you. If you're like, hold on, I've already forgotten what the technique is. Think high, get the hands down low. Does it work? High, low. Does his hands drop? High, low, overhand right. Does that make sense? Give that a try, play with it. Completely confused at this point. Nobody. Good. Who feels like, I don't have it, but at least I see what's going on? Raise your hand. Who's like, nope, I got it. I can do it. I can do it. I got it. All right, super good. So again, it's not so important that you mimic me, by the way. If I say, this is the way you do it, bop, 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 and you're like, okay, that's the only way I can do it, I have failed you as an instructor. This is an option, and if you like it, you start looking for that hole, right? I got to create that head opening. The hands are up. I want to get the hands down. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then it's going to feed me jab cross. 1, 2. I'm going to fade a little bit, right? Now, I've got a choice because I've laid on a little bit here. I can come in, I can hit here with an uppercut, right? I can also switch and hit here with the hook. So again, this is more of a self-defense with no boxing gloves. You can do this with boxing gloves. You just don't get the sensitivity. So boxing, let's do this. Boxing glove style, 1, 2, right? Kind of a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is kind of the idea with boxing gloves. More self-defense feeling. I got these cool the fingers in the bottom, the palms of the hands. I can kind of feel it. See, 1, 2. I can kind of move them a little bit. Now he's going to be faster, and I might yank that hand back when I touch it. Yank that hand back fast. Yeah, I might not get much on it. Does that make sense? If his hand speed is fast. Totally legit. So what I'm really looking to do is feel something. And if he's committing to get me, then it should be easier for me to make the shots. All right, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All of those things are there if you're using the sensitivity, and I'm literally kind of pulling him in. Just a little pull. Now, if he is like speed jabbing me, but he's not throwing any power into it, I might not get my hands on it. Not a problem. I go back to this, and I get back to the offense, and I start making my attack. But most people, when they throw a punch, they want to hit you. Sometimes I just let somebody get a taste for it, right? He throws the high-low jab, I let him hit the bottom. And he's like, hey, I kind of like that. I think I got something, right? And then I come back with mine. He's like, maybe he was setting me up the whole time. He saw me coming. You give him a little bait, okay? Jab, cross, step, uppercut. Boxing glove style, 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. More Muay Thai style. 1, 2, 3. More Muay Thai style. Does that make sense? Working a lot of boxing today, so if you feel like kind of getting your boxing mode on, keep it pretty simple. Touch, touch, hit. Touch, touch, hit. Touch, touch, hit. Does it make sense? Sir. Give it a try, have some fun. Joel, I'm going to need you to help me also. Sir. I need your musical talent. Joel's going to give us a beat. He's going to give us a nice, steady cadence. That's all I need him to do. All right, so when you're kind of thinking about rhythm, if Lyndon punches at this rate, bop, bop, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I get in rhythm with him. Let's say that he does jab, jab, cross, uppercut, right? Jab, cross, uppercut, right? Let's say he does it with the hook. And he goes jab, cross, hook, right? And I can feel that. While he's giving that beat, I'm also looking on my defense. I have to sync, right? Bop, 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 right? Bop, 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 right? Bop, 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 right? He changed it for me. Bop, bop, bop. Whatever it is that he's doing, I got to be in sync on the defense. I want to be out of sync when I throw my counter, right? 1, 2, 3, right? Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. You see how I broke his rhythm? All right, now let's say that he does 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. He should be able to block mine because we're in sync, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You see how I've broken my rhythm? Thanks, Joel. So guys, when I'm kind of showing you this metronome kind of an idea, I notice that we start getting into a rhythm when we're drilling. Doesn't that make sense? Right? The same thing would happen if we were doing a kicking drill, right? I hit, you hit. I shield, you shield, kind of a thing. So we got to be thinking that this is a little bit artificial when we're hand drilling, right? So if I throw the drill so he can train, it's probably going to be bop, bop. If I throw 3, bop, 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 right? If I throw 2, bop, bop, and he can always counter punch on the mark. But that's not fighting. Make sense? Sure. Likewise, if he throws 1, 2, 3, that'd be pretty fun to do, right? But I could also go 1, 2 in the middle of his cross, right? You're going to need some broken rhythm at some point. Now, for a lot of people out there in the boxing, kickboxing world that are new, they won't get it. It's okay. If you understand it, start thinking about it for fighting. We're getting ready to fight here in a minute. Be thinking that we don't really want to be in sync. I promise you, if I'm synced up with Lennon, he'll block everything if I give him enough time. So let's say I'm going to do some random punches. He's going to do some random defense the best way that he can, but I stay on the same pattern, right? So I give him some stuff to block. Stuff to block, right? Stuff to block, right? Bop, right? Bop, 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 right? He'll have a chance to see it and kind of start moving. Does that make sense? Sure. The minute that I go 1, 2, he's gonna be like, ah, man, how could I stop that? It was off rhythm. Okay. Now, I promise you that most people will block the first one. If I throw a leg kick, right, he's gonna block this one, or he's gonna move. Movement is also just as good, right? I go to throw the jab, right? He'll either block or move, right? He's gonna block the first one. So if I do this, and I go that, and I've broken rhythm by giving him a feint, I win. All right, have some fun. I want you to try to be completely on defense with your partner and let them attack you. Nice, bop, 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 and just kind of work on not getting hit. Now, what happens if they hit you? Not a big deal. We're not gonna hit them hard. We will hit a little bit harder when we put the gloves on. But then it's my turn. Okay, now I'm at defense. I'm just gonna come out here, bop, 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 bop. And I'm really looking for my opportunity to work the defense we just talked about, okay? You can change any hand or any foot technique with any combo that you want. Just do so in a reasonable way that you're not trying to trick them yet. That happens once you put the gloves on. Have some fun. Spar lightly with your partner. Only one person attacks. Only one person defends until we switch. Ready? Keep it light. Have some fun. Work the hand movement we talked about if you can. Set up some punches. Ready? Go. All right. Watch the behavior. If they give you the same attack, use that to your advantage. Brady block that punch. Don't duck. Better get hit in the face and see it coming. At least you can maybe move. Throws and kicks. You can get to the body or to the leg. Grab the leg. Both legs. Good combo. Looking good. Good leg kick. Good defense. Stand up. Oh, I saw that coming a mile away, Sarah. You see that side kick coming? Yeah. Nice side kick, ready? Nice counter kick, Josh.
Every time. There you go. Oh.
Oh, nice combo set. Good, man. Nice kick. Grab that foot with your kick, Hannah. Grab it. Oh, don't let him clinch you, Meridian. Make your punch the body. Punch the body. Don't drop the hand. Set him up. Set him up. Hand set up the feet. Time. All right. Don't play around. Here's Brady. Don't play around. Work. Ready? Go. Lock that. Go ahead, movement. Ready? Go ahead, movement. Oh, I like that kick. Oh. Oh, don't turn the head. Keep the hands up. Work.